Hi everyone, I'm Tremaine, your host, and welcome back to the Guiding Lights podcast show, where me and my guests talk about their life stories, experiences, and we talk about topics that I'm hoping will invoke further conversations and awake people's spirits and help people with healing and also finding their inner peace or inner happiness and while they're on their journey to discovering their best self. So I'll let my guests introduce themselves. So let's start with.
Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Kaz Mack. I am the founder of Now Chat Show. I'm also a cake baker, so check out my page, Kaz Bakes Cakes, if you want that special cake for that
Quick
special
plug,
occasion.
quick plug.
Holla!
Yeah. Okay, let's start here.
Hi everybody, my name is Miss T. I'm also, I forgot to say this last time, so I'm glad we got a second take. I'm also a co-host of Now Chat Show, but also a founder of Kundalini Collective, which is a spiritual lifestyle brand.
Good afternoon, everybody, or whatever time of day it is you're watching this, actually. But yeah, I'm Janelle Rayburn. I am a co-host on Now Chat Show, and I also do lots of hosting and presenting a few other chat shows, and I consider myself a culturepreneur.
Hello everybody, I am Iola and I'm the host of Owning It Up with Iola on Colourful, Tuesday mornings 10 till 12. Also a co-host on Now Chat Show, thank you Kaz.
You're welcome.
And I'm also what I call a communications connector. So I work in the community, doing lots of different sort of events and things, and yeah, all round connector.
Okay, great. Okay, so today's topic is about the purpose of life. What is the purpose of life? So I googled it, and what came up, it says your life's purpose consists of the central motivating aims of your life. So the reasons that you get up in the morning. Purpose can guide your life decisions, influence behavior, shape your goals, offer a sense of direction, and create meaning. For some people, purpose is a connected vocation, which is something meaningful or satisfying work. So ladies, let's get into it. So what is life's purpose? So let's start with, anyone want to go first? Okay. What?
You go first. You go first.
Nah, why don't you go first? So, all right, Janelle.
All right, I'll go first. So I think life is a very interesting thing, and we are blessed with life. And I'll start by saying that there was a quote in a book that I read by Rita Marley called No Woman, No Cry, and she said, "What is given is life, and for everything else give thanks." And I think I say that to say that we're all blessed with this thing called life, and we're all trying to figure out what our purpose is, and our purpose is something different to every single individual. Certainly for me, it's never been one thing, and in my earlier years I struggled with it not being one thing, because society tells you that you need to focus on one thing. But what I've been able to do is really explore every part of myself, and I continue to explore every part of myself. What am I good at? What makes me happy? What makes me feel fulfilled? What makes me feel that actually I'm not just doing for me, but I'm actually leaving some kind of legacy behind for others, and being able to inspire and support others. So for me, that's my purpose. It's constantly evolving. It's not one specific thing, and in everything I just want to be able to be content and give thanks.
Okay. All right, Iola.
Okay. For me, I would say, echoing what you said as well, I think it's an inner path of self-discovery, and that is something that's always changing. Sometimes the path is diverted in different directions, but off camera we're talking about finding yourself and knowing yourself, and that for me is the central core, because that feeling that we have is kind of like the enjoyment of things that we enjoy as a child. Those are the things that we should actually be doing, whether we're told or not that we shouldn't do them, because they don't pay enough money, it's not a career. I just feel like that's also a central part of your purpose, and those are the things that we learn, unfortunately, sadly, later on. And I think that we should teach children, your purpose is your joy, essentially.
Absolutely. So I think that as a child, when I thought about my purpose and things like that, because I was a deep child, I just wanted to be happy. And as an adult, I allowed other people to kind of influence me and tell me what I should be doing or what I shouldn't be doing, So you kind of like go through childhood and you get given these different garments to put on. Like no, you know, like what you were saying previously off camera about your father, Janelle. So it also reminded me that I enjoyed drawing and I wanted to be an artist and I was a great athlete and that brought me joy and I wanted to be an athlete, and my dad said to me, no, that doesn't bring any money. And so that what that does is like it shakes your understanding of what makes you happy, and it's not good enough. So then when your parents are saying to you, well, actually that's not going to bring any money, that's not going to, then you kind of second guess yourself. And then that's what we do. We go through life meeting as a child, because I'm going to speak from a child's perspective, meeting different adults that tell you what you should do, what you shouldn't do, and it clouds everything. Then you become lost in everybody else's Maya. So for me, I'm very childlike still, because it grounds me. It shows me, you know, when you're working with children, especially when you look through their eyes, how they see the world, they're free. And it's adults that put these things onto them, you know, whether it be their belief system, education, all these things. And you lose your way, and you grow up with issues. And so for me, the past few years, especially during the lockdown, I was able to go inside myself and say, well, actually, that doesn't belong to me. I don't like that. I never aspired to be doing that. So, you know, it's about finding yourself. And your purpose can be many different things. Like you said, it can change throughout different situations. So there you go.
Okay.
Really
Yeah,
happy.
I love that. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, where do I come into this? Yeah, that's mercy. You know, going off what you guys have already said, I was listening to a teaching by Dr. Miles Monroe, the late Dr. Miles Monroe, and he spoke about like parents, stop killing your children's dreams. And I think as a child, everybody knows what your purpose is, because your purpose isn't attached to anything.
Yeah.
You know, your purpose is just to be.
Yeah, be happy.
Do you get what I'm
and
saying?
have
Just
fun.
be yourself, and just whatever naturally comes to you is what your purpose is, you know, just to be you. I think because of society is because we've been programmed to be, to speak, to believe in certain things. Like before you was even born, you already know, say you're a Christian or a Muslim or whatever because of your parents. But that wasn't your choice. These are things that others, adults or whoever, society's put onto you. So I think when you think about purpose isn't a thing where, you know, my purpose is to be a singer or a dancer. Those are like gifts. Those are talents. You could still sing and still have a desire that you want to work in an old people's home and just help somebody or whatever it is. So I don't think it is really like a specific thing. I just think even right now, this purpose right now is just to encourage and to inspire other people what you're doing. So purpose means different things for different people, but I don't think it necessarily has to be anything. Just to exist is just purpose.
Yeah, and the thing is, I always thought that purpose was a thing. So I thought that, you know, when you see Chris Brown dancing, they say, oh, that's his purpose because he's just so good at it. So I was always thinking to myself, you know, what's my purpose? What am I meant to do? I said, well, I'm good at organising. I'm good at events. I'm good at chatting, as you could see. So I was just thinking that it's one particular thing. And then I read this really good book, Conversations with God. It's like so good. I read it a lot. I'm reading it again at the moment. And it was saying that your purpose in life basically is to remember who you truly are. And that sort of speaks on what you're saying as a child, because like you said as well, like you're born like basically as a palette, not a palette, like just a canvas, a blank canvas. And then the people around you, your parents or society, the media, TV, then makes you start to form things that you think should be, you know, your life or a person's life or success or whatever. So that's what I was basing it off of. You have to do one thing, but the books made me think, yes, you know, maybe it is who I really am. That's what I'm meant to be doing here. And then last night I was watching a video by Sadhguru, and he was talking about the purpose of life. And when he said what his definition of it was, I was just like, oh my Lord, like I just lost it. 'Cause I'm thinking something totally different. And what he said is that the people feel like they have to have a purpose because it gives them a sense of safety and protection and individuality. But he's saying it's just something we've created in our mind because it's basically a psychological trap that has been made by our emotion and our thoughts. Because he said that what happens is you let your emotions and thoughts control you, and you're not living life because it then becomes more important by your feelings and you know what you're thinking, how you make decisions and what you do. So he said the meaning of life is just to live and basically explore every element of life. That is the meaning of life. So that's what he thinks. He doesn't think that the purpose, there's a life purpose, or we're here for a specific purpose, or God has a purpose for you. He just thinks that we're all here to enjoy life. And it touches in the book. It says that, you know, they say God, and don't want to get too religious, but it says that God basically created us as beings so that we could experience things that he couldn't experience. So basically, like, he's the creator and he's created all these things, but he can't experience them. So that's why he's created us, so we can experience it, because that's how he can maybe understand or experience the creations. Do you know what I mean? So, which is another way of looking at things. Okay, so
That's actually interesting.
That is
actually,
deep.
we can't
We
cannot brush past
Yeah.
that. We cannot
That
skip
is
that.
deep.
Because when you think about it,
yeah,
you think about the creator. If the creator's given us this moment to experience, then why are we always kind of like fighting against the experience when the creator, who's the creator of all of us, doesn't even get to, because they're the creator.
and just to go in, it also said that you have to experience bad to know good. You have to experience this to know bad, because then how will you know?
Yeah, how do you
So,
gauge
like,
it?
yeah.
So I was going to say, like, I know we don't want to get religious, and this is one of the things that kind of doesn't make sense to me. So if we're going to think of this being that's omnipotent, omnipresence, and omniscience, doesn't need to have our experience, because it's everywhere. By us giving it a name and a thing, we're actually doing what we're doing as the parents by pushing something into a container to say, this is what you are. When I feel like we're an expression of that being to just be.
Yeah,
Whether it, you know, to
definitely.
be happy, to be loved, to go through challenges. How are you going to work it out? Like, we haven't even touched on, there's people that have had how many lives and come back. Why do they come back? You know, and I've heard that they come back because they didn't learn a certain lesson.
Yeah.
And for me,
You
I'm just
keep
like,
doing things
how
over
many times
again.
you know,
until you learn from
until
it.
you
Yeah,
learn.
that's what it says in the book as well. Yeah.
right.
So
That's interesting, because then when you think about it, isn't that a part of the programming? Do you get what I'm saying? So what I mean is, if in terms of what you say from like a religious perspective, yeah, so that's a part of a programming to then control people, to then think and to be in a certain way. So if you want to pick up yourself and then go and live in a rural area, people will look at you and say that you're mad. But why is that mad? If you have a desire or you feel an unction, that's what you need to do.
but that comes down to the programming again.
Exactly.
That if you do something people don't understand or don't agree with, they think you're crazy.
Exactly.
So yeah, so it's all, I guess it's all people's perspective, but I think that to me, the more that you get to know yourself or know who you are, you have your own relationship with the being, and you work out what is what for yourself, you know? So that's why I think that there is a psychological thing, but I think, you see, when you got that connection with the source, that you use that, I wouldn't say your own language, but you can pick sense from the nonsense, you know what I mean?
Your own language is actually
Okay.
That's the correct. That's
Yeah,
the correct
that's
voice.
right,
Isn't it?
yeah.
We actually do come with our own language.
And then we go against it.
We actually, that concept of being born with a blank canvas,
Yeah.
I understand it, but at the same time, I think it's almost the opposite in a
Do
way.
you?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I feel like we've come here with purpose, we've come here with a lesson to learn, we've come here with all the faculties and our own language, our own native spiritual language, and this isn't religious at all, this is deeply spiritual.
Yeah.
And this is something that I've learned recently on Edison's course, where I should be today, right now. Anyway.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry, I'm here. Sorry, Edison. And he taught us how to speak our own language, which is unique to us as individuals, because, as I said before, it's an inner path. And so now I've learned the language. I call it the language of the soul. And so I speak that, and it really comes up when I'm moved by things, and I can actually speak it on command like a second language, or actually a first language.
Yeah.
But that concept of language is so integral, because obviously we use it and we cast spells and we create with the word.
Yes, yes.
As they say, the word was the
power.
first.
Yeah.
You know, first there was the word, and then there was the creation. So
Okay.
the language, I just want to touch on that and say that is very, very powerful.
Yes,
in the
I know
person,
that
yeah.
for sure.
I mean, just to kind of expand on what you say about going back to this blank canvas, I agree with you. I don't think we are necessarily blank canvas. I think we have the capacity to expand our canvas, but I think we come with we're fully formed. You know, before and again, not getting religious, but before I formed you in the womb, I knew you.
Yeah.
That means if I knew you,
Yeah.
you had a distinct description, type, language. You know, generally that, and I think that. So life is about rediscovering who that person was, because as you move through life and you move through your journey, those bits are stripped away. Going back to what you were saying about being a child and just having this childlike innocence, you know, energy and fun. I just got this image in my head that as a child you've got this house with multiple rooms, like endless rooms, and every light is on in this room. And as you move through life and people start to, in particular adults, start to tell you, no, you shouldn't do this, no, you shouldn't do this, and that you should do this. So the light starts to switch off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Until you just end up with like,
Almost
maybe
in a
it's a
dark room.
almost
Prison
cell.
Or nowadays,
Basically, you have a prison cell.
Or
Yeah.
nowadays with your phone light, you know, and so light, no, but
It's
you know,
dimming.
all of these switches,
Yeah,
and
that
so
is really good.
where I think kind of exploring life and really understanding life, you start to turn those lights back on,
Yeah.
and say, oh my gosh, that was in that room, I forgot about you, you know. So
But you have to do the work in order for you to turn those lights back on. And I think that's the thing where we've become so accustomed to the programming from everybody else. We no longer want to do the work. And I think with life, that is the journey. That is the journey in terms of finding who you really truly are, who the manufacturer made you. That's the source, you know, because the source already knows who you are. Like you said, everything is already inside of you. You've got the answer to whatever the issue is. You know how to make money.
Yeah.
You know how to do. Do you understand what I'm
It's
saying?
true,
But we're
so
looking at
true.
all these different ways because of what society's telling us. You've got to get a job. You've got to earn this. You've got to do this exam. You've got to. But when you even look at, like, say, the most richest person in the world, half of them ain't even got that education.
Listen,
they're not
most of
happy.
them,
They're
thank
not
you very
happy.
much. They're not
happy.
Yeah.
That's the key.
And this
They're
is the
not
thing, but
happy.
we, like idiots, some of us, is chasing the paper, but you're not even enjoying the journey. And then you end up getting stroke, you end up deading, you get cancer, you
Deading.
get all of them things.
Oh, Jamaican saying, you wake up dead.
No, but we're all gonna die. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm not
Yeah.
trying to
No,
like
it's true.
be whatever, but at the same time, it's like you're not really experiencing, you're not enjoying what life is, and that's really just to live your true, authentic self.
So would you say that to know your purpose or to experience life fully is to know yourself? Would you
Yes.
say
Yes.
that?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah. And one question I wanted to ask, because I know Miss T said that, you know, she was a very deep child and in tune with herself, shall we say, at, you know, a young age. When do you guys first start thinking about what you're supposed to do or what a purpose should be? So what age can you guys remember, like the age when you said to yourself, oh, you know, what do I want to do? What do I want to be? Do you remember that age?
Yeah, I like it was yesterday. So I was like 7. Yeah, I was 7.
That's young.
And I can remember saying to my dad saying to me, like, what do you want to do when you grow up? That question. And I was just like, just be happy. He was like, no, what do you want to do? And I was like, I just want to be happy. And I repeated it about 3 times. And he was like, no, you don't understand what I'm saying. But I fully understood. Like, now when I look back,
Yeah.
I knew where you were going with it. And I don't want your stuff.
Yeah.
I just want to be happy. So what makes me happy right now? Running makes me happy because I'm very good at running. I was good at drawing. That's what makes me happy. And I've literally come full circle as an adult
Yeah.
to do those things that I enjoy and I love again. And for me, it was basically I like to be in nature. I love water.
Yeah. I mean,
So long as I'm near to water, so long as I can go out for a walk, feel the breeze, see the trees, connect with nature, I'm happy.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
even somebody said to me the other day, if you had the opportunity to get a lot of millions of pounds, would you want a big house? And I was like, absolutely not. I just want a bit of land, a nice body of water, and to be in nature. I don't want all the entrapments of what people say is, going to make you a good. No, it's not.
Yeah, successful. Yeah, or happy. Yeah. Janelle, do you have anything to add to it?
I think for me,
Really
it's interesting looking at your story, listening to where you've come from. I don't think that question ever dawned on me from within. That question was imposed on me from my father.
Oh.
If I go back to my childhood, I remember being very kind of creative. I used to like to play on my own, create stories and worlds in my environment, day-to-day living, like with my Barbie dolls, for example, as we all did. Or, I guess that and I was happy doing that. I felt joy and contentment doing that, wandering off into my daydream. I used to be accused by both of my parents all the time, "Oh, stop daydreaming." And so, again, that was probably a light switch that was turned off, and I thought, okay, I can't daydream. I've got to be. I've got to be
creativity.
here.
Yeah.
That
Your
was my
imagination.
creativity.
Yeah.
And so that. What do I want to be? Where do I want to go? Has never been a question that's come from within. It's been imposed on me.
Okay.
And it's not. It's not something that I don't think I've now want to explore. But I want to explore it as the course of life rather than having to answer this question.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's powerful. And as I'm thinking about it, I'm just trying to think about whether it was imposed or whether it was something that was internal for myself. And I know that when I was like 4, living in Jamaica, I enjoyed swimming, and I've always loved swimming. I've always loved the water. But I also love movement. I love dancing, and that was my passion. And I was encouraged to do dancing. I was taken to dance classes and.
Oh, so no dance or queen business.
Not.
There
was definitely some of that going on in the yard, but not so much outside. It's like contemporary and ballet and street dance and all that good stuff. But then my mum was quite a free spirit. She was quite liberal, even to today. She's not like a 9 to 5, but she never has been. And she always used to say to me, whatever you do, whether it's a dustman, whether it's this, whether it's that, do your best. Whatever you do it with that passion and to your best ability. There was that, but then on the other hand, there was this thing of perfection that came with that. And I'm not sure where this idea of being a lawyer came from. I'm not sure where that came from. That wasn't from my mum. But it was encouraged when I decided that maybe about 11, 12, I wanted to become a lawyer. So it was like, oh yeah, you're going to be a hotshot lawyer, you're going to be a hotshot lawyer. And then when it came to sort of going to uni, I, like yourself, studied law. I did enjoy it, but being the fact that I'd moved back into London after growing up in Hertfordshire, I then was discovering that whole thing about enjoyment. I was enjoying being in Hackney and London life and Raven and Man and whatever else, and I deviated from studying.
Okay.
So then my academia side sort of plummet and started to do all the fun things, and even through college I was dancing. I had a dance troupe and we were touring with artists and things like that. And again, as you said, Tareen, it's just like I'm coming back to that. I'm coming back to myself. And at this juncture, at 40, I'm thinking, what do I really want to do, or how do I want to be?
How do I want to be?
So I think it's actually the wrong question that we're posed, that's imposed on us.
Yes.
It's how do I want to be? How do I want to feel?
Who do I want to be?
And that comes with your purpose, I feel.
I just want to really jump in there, just to pick up on one thing that you said, which is you said your academia plummeted.
It did.
Because that's not the part you said, because I started to enjoy myself.
Yes.
So what does that say?
Yes. No, but it was the wrong type of enjoyment.
No, but hold on. What I'm saying is, without saying it, potentially you didn't really enjoy academia, or as much as you enjoyed life.
Yeah, because you
No,
was
but
living.
there needs to be a balance. There needs to be a balance. I'm a firm believer in balance, and looking back now, I think it was just a case of, and this is something that I talk about now, like with my partner a lot, is about the lack of discipline. So I'm like, in terms of, the ones coming up and his child, I'm like, discipline is, or not even discipline, I've changed that word actually, to commitment to self. Commitment to self, a dedication to yourself of whatever it is that you enjoy. So whether it's drawing, whether it's, graphic design or whatever it is, that you have a commitment that you will dedicate some time to that, to learn, to hone your skill, hone your craft. But that actual commitment is necessary, and that balance. If I had that, I probably would have still gone down the legal route, because I ended up working for 5 years in the legal department at Warner Music. So it was almost like it was divine, because I actually wanted to be a music lawyer.
Wow.
So even though I hadn't fulfilled that academically, I ended up manifesting the job, the actual job, and I was literally the executive assistant for the senior vice president lawyer in the whole of the UK for Warner Music. So I was like, this is divine. And then I was encouraged at the time to, I'll do a, go back to university and do some, and at the time when there wasn't many lawyers, black lawyers in the industry, and God rest his soul, Richard Antwi, who was a very successful lawyer, he was very encouraging to me and saying, we really need more like you. But having the experience, as we go back to that exploration, I was like, this isn't for me. Like I was in the office, long hours, I didn't like the culture. I didn't like the corporate culture. It wasn't for me. I felt restricted. I felt like I had to conform to going to the pub and all of that stuff.
And if you don't go,
and
then
if you
you
don't,
seem like
it wasn't for me. And not to say there's more than one way to skin a cat, as they say. But I just see it now. I don't have a regret about that. I had the experience. I was able to see the ins and outs of. I even did some contracts for Ed Sheeran and all those people. Their video contracts. So I've had the experience now.
Yeah,
so
that's great. Yeah. And Kaz, do you remember when you started to think about what you should do or what your purpose was in life?
You know something similar to T and Janelle. My dad asked me like, "What do you want to do?" I think he must have asked me when I was about 16, 17. I think it was 17. Actually, yeah. Wow. It's quite deep. It was a day that I got kicked out of home. At the house. Yeah, when I was 17. And I remember saying to my dad, "I want to be an actress." And my dad said to me, "That's an idiot. That's just stupidness. You need to get a skilled job." And I was like thinking, what's a skilled job? Like, I just want to be an actress. Do you know what I mean? Because I just remember when I was going to school, that was the only thing that I enjoyed doing was the drama class, because I just found it fun and just being able to be somebody or create something or pretend to be something that you're not. I just found it really I just enjoyed it, and I just enjoyed it. So I just remember when he asked me that question and me giving that response, but also looking back in my childhood, one of the things that I used to do a lot with my sisters and my cousins and that, I used to use my fingers and I would create characters. So I used to call it the show was called Games.
Okay.
And the main character, her name was Sarah. She was looking for love, and she had all these different friends and all this kind of stuff. And even one of my cousins even said to me the other day, "Do you remember when you used to do games?" And I was like, "You remember?" Do you know what I mean? So that's the impact that it had back then. And I guess because of how the circumstances ended, how I ended up like being at the house, that dream just got shoved to the side. It was no longer there. And even yesterday I was watching a show yesterday. I was like saying to myself, you know what, I really would have liked to be an actress.
And you still can.
Thank you.
But I think because of the programming, it's having to unprogram everything.
And you can do it.
Yes.
And we're
on
going
a
to support
journey.
you.
Praise the Almighty.
Interestingly, at the Black Excellence Awards the other day, thank you very much, Janelle, and fantastic job. Big up. Really excellent
Still
event.
recovering, by the way.
Excellent event. Somebody said, I can't remember who, I don't know if it was you, Janelle, that said that was it Tina Turner had her first hit at age 50?
Yeah.
And I remember actually looking at some of the, you know, sort of celebrities and whatnot, in their older years of what they've achieved. And it's not a case of by 25 you have your children and this you have your career, and it just doesn't work like that. Life isn't linear like that. It's, you know, all around, even upside down, and so
and a lot
can
of
still
successful
do it.
people start. A lot of people start like over 40, 50, and they go on to have like great careers, experiences, success, whatever you want to call it. So it's true. I do believe that at any age you can start, because even the lady that we like to listen to, Louise Hay, remember she did loads of stuff like in her 70s. She was learning to do things. I was just like, wow, it really did inspire me. It really did.
But isn't age as well another social cloak that we've put on?
Yes,
because it's been defined by a calendar that was made by somebody that, you know, and yes, there's some kind of cosmos stuff to do with the calendar, but age is. It sounds so cliche, but it really is a number, and it's more about where you are on your life's path, as opposed to, oh well, I've been here for, you know, 52 weeks times whatever it is, you know, in terms of your age. So,
but on that note, on the calendar as well, we've been shortchanged on that calendar, because we, you know, a whole 30 days or something, you know, I mean, I mean, depending which one you look at. But yeah, there's like supposed to be an extra month, and apparently all this astrology
kind of
it's all out. It's all out.
Talks about that, doesn't it?
Yeah,
is it the Ethiopian? Is it
they're what's their year at the minute? It's like, it's certainly not 2022.
It's 2016 for them, I think.
Right.
Oh, is it? Wow.
Yeah.
But I know that.
So they have more time. Who wants to go back to 2016? Anybody?
Me?
Actually,
Well,
I'll take that.
I'm
those
easy.
years off.
I'm easy.
Yes, please, thank you.
Grateful.
2016 it is.
So, you know, what would you say to people that think that they need to find their purpose, or the purpose is a particular thing? Like someone like myself, a couple of years ago in COVID, I was sitting there, what's my purpose? And started Googling, looking at videos, and people's all saying their definition. What would you advise someone if they are trying to work out what their purpose is, or if life has a purpose? What would you guys say to them from what you've experienced of life so far?
I would say to them, whatever is making you unhappy, you need to let that go first. Because for me, and you know, it's quite simple. In the lockdown, I left my job.
Did you?
Yeah, I decided that I was being bullied. They were trying to change who I was as a person, like my character, everything, my personality. So they would say to me, okay, you know, we could see that you weren't happy about that. And I'm like, yeah, it's on my face. If you're not happy, I'm gonna let you know. You know, I'm not a robot. And so the job that I was doing, I was dealing with a lot of vulnerable adults and their children. And so they would just come along and they would look at me, and I'd know that they wanted a hug. They were coming to me to get something that they couldn't get anywhere else. And the establishment was trying to stop that. And I was like, no, this is bigger than you. And, you know, if people are coming because they are traumatized, they're vulnerable, and they see within me that they can get just a little relief, some love, she understands me, I'm going to do that. And because they were putting barriers in my way, I was like, no.
Is that due to the safeguarding aspect, though?
Well, there's no safeguarding because they're adults.
Yeah, but you could still be safeguarding for vulnerable adults, no?
No, it wasn't that at all.
Okay.
No. They were saying, because it was unprofessional.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, back to the safeguarding, and that's what they're trying to implement in terms of, you know, I'm not saying what they've done is correct, because I agree with you, and I think this is society's programming, because we're now being shown that we shouldn't share or show love to somebody else because of safeguarding. If you're hugging somebody in public, they shared something with you, they're bawling, why should you not go and give them a hug? That's just the most normal human thing to do.
Thank you.
What
Humane thing to
society
do.
is now telling us, no sir, we're not human no more, we can't robots. Do you get what I'm saying?
But also, if that adult felt safe to approach you to get that need, you know, physical display of love or whatever it is, then isn't that down to them? Rather, isn't that their choice?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, because even when you, host Tremaine, I'm not trying to take over your show, but even when you think about like what we've been through the pandemic and everything else, the forcedness, you know, you have to go and get the vaccine, you need to do this. It's all a program. It's all just telling us this is the way, this is how you've got to do things, and you should be able to make your own choice.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of us just being our true, authentic self.
I was going to say on that point, with regards to the pandemic, the whole thing of no connection,
interaction
to meter distance and all that bullshit. Sorry,
That's all right.
that was part of it. That was part of the conditioning. So we talk about the programs. We talk about the behaviours that we are taught, and obviously depending on how, I don't like the term woke, awake you are, you will be aware of these things. So for somebody like Tarina, who's on the higher plane, she's like, no, I'm not taking this. I'm leaving. Like you will stand by your own humanness,
Absolutely,
and free yourself. And that in itself, that's
As
how
they say,
that's
free yourself from mental slavery.
all of it.
and so I'm glad you touched on that, because one of the things that I am is a nurturing touch therapist, and so what people don't understand is that prison is designed in a way that those people in there do not get human touch. Okay, and if you leave a baby without human touch, the baby will die. Okay, so it's a fundamental thing that they've done to us in the lockdown. Okay, they could see the people that were going to conform, and they knew the ones that weren't going to conform, and the ones that didn't, they knew how important it was that I have to hold this power myself, and I have to make these decisions. Everything we have is a choice and a decision. We have to weigh it up. Is it good for me? Is it bad for me? And for me, nurturing touch is why I will always stand by it. Like, making a baby feel safe and secure and loved is so paramount to their development, and it transpires into us as adults. If we're not getting those basic human needs met, we're literally dying. So.
And I can feel you. I can feel you when you're saying it. I can feel you. And I just, like, as you're even speaking and as your energy is emanating, I'm just like, I want to hug her. do you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just, I don't know if anybody else got that, but I'll get a hug afterwards.
But the thing is, going back to what you said, Tia, and I remember speaking to a sister, and if you're watching, you know who you are, and she was even sharing about, I think she shared it with both of us actually, and she either got dismissed, sacked or something because she hugged a student. The student was sharing and whatever, and she hugged the student, and it was like, it was an issue, and then it was like disciplinary or being suspended and things like that. But it's just like, why can we not just show some form of affection? It's not like you're abusing a child. Do you get what I'm saying? And that one hug could be the only hug that child gets for the entire season of that year of them living. Do you know what I mean? Kind of thing. And now you're blocking that because you want to be put in one shoe fits all kind of thing. That's just so wrong.
Yeah. And as you touch on like the younger generation, I think of, like, I always used to think that these kids that are killing each other, stabbing each other, and certain crimes that are committed, I used to say to myself, like, these kids is like they just think that there's, I wouldn't say no purpose of life, but nothing to live for. And I think that young people probably, if their environments were different, or I don't know, or even their home life, I don't know, but do you think that maybe our youth don't feel like they have a purpose for life, or why they they don't value life as much, or see it that they can just stab their brother, or and it's so important that they have to walk with a knife and stuff like that? Do you think that sort of is about because they feel like there's no real purpose of life, or anything to live for?
I swung the mic straight away when you started speaking on that, because it touched on a point that's come up just throughout this week for
Yeah.
myself,
Oh.
just being online and watching a podcast by a lady called Judy Ann Bodley, who used to work on CVM in Jamaica.
Okay.
She's got her own, she's mostly music, but she does some
Yeah.
great stuff. Anyway, I was browsing on her page and she interviewed Cheryl Lee Ralph, who just won an Emmy, right? A Jamaican American actress who's won an Emmy and has been going at it for many years. And I think this is her first real accolade.
Yeah.
But anyway, in this interview, Cheryl Lee Ralph is staunchly proud of her Jamaican roots. And in this interview, they touched on, the issues that are happening in Jamaica, in particular around kind of crime and violence, etc. And what Cheryl Lee Ralph said was so profound, and it stuck with me. And what she said is, think about it this way. You have got a swathe of young people coming from inner city areas who don't have a love. First of all, they don't have external love, most of them, because there's this struggle within certain communities, certainly within a lot of Caribbean households, to show young people, to show children love and affection. It's always discipline and harshness and harsh words, So they don't have that love coming to them, and therefore that translates to them not really having love for themselves.
Yeah.
They don't love, understand, know themselves,
Yeah.
and therefore if you and also that lack of love then diminishes their value of life, because life is love and love is life, as far as I see it, right? So what she's saying is, because they have that lack of love and they have a lack of value on life, and certainly their own life, how then can they value somebody else's life?
Well, this is
Doesn't make sense. So
Yeah.
it's easy.
Yeah.
If you don't value your own life, it's
How
going to be
you
so
go-
easy
yeah.
to take another's
That's what they
life.
say about love. If you don't love
love
yourself,
you can't love anybody
anyone
else.
Yeah.
But even going back to what you're saying there, when you even think about, like, say, I know we're kind of going into a different direction, but even when you think about, say, Jamaica as an island itself, you think about what the oppressor has done to us, and that's the behavior that's been learned, and that's how comes we have generations of parents, grandparents, parents then automatically repeating the same thing that they was, which they were experienced for themselves. Do you know what I'm saying? Because there's so many people that I know that would say, I would never be like how my mum was, or I would never be like how my dad was. And it's either you're going to be like them, or you do the opposite, and then your child still ends up being quite spoiled to a certain extent, because you need a balance to an extent. But what I'm basically saying is, when you look at the foundation of why we have the issues that we do, is because it's a taught behaviour. When you look at, say, Jamaica is one of the islands that went through the worst of the worst when it came to slavery. It was called Brock Island. It weren't called Brock Island for no, like brock up the dance, brock up the back and all that thing. It was literally, it's to break down the slave. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you look at the history, then you have to look at, if that went through our generations after generation after generation from the colonizer, then should it even be surprising what we are going through today? It's a miracle that we're still existing and still creating.
Yeah, and that's what just tells you that why I think that we're, I wouldn't say the chosen, but I've had this
Say it.
concept.
We're chosen.
Thank you.
That
For you.
we
Own
are
it. Right.
so God's children, black
And yes,
people,
majority
because
of us, we
a
are
lot
all
of the when you read certain stories, it reflects us and what we're living right now as a race, But what you're saying, you touched on some good points there, because a lot of it. Of how we live and see life is from our ancestors and what they've experienced. But what I think is really good is that I'm noticing that in the last couple of years, or maybe 5 years, that people are starting to do their research. They're trying to get more spiritual, learning about themselves, and the internet has been like they say a curse and a gift, because you get you're getting so much information, but then you're finding out stuff and you're thinking, oh my God, did that really happen? So I think where we are, we're definitely in a space where we're getting enlightened. And I think one of the guys that came on the chat show said that it's the year, I think where the moon's positioned, we're in the year of enlightenment.
Was that Galactic
Pride.
Pride?
Yeah,
Do check out that podcast, guys.
Yeah,
Now chat show.
So yeah, no, I think that we're in a space of enlightenment, because even like when I speak to young people about certain things, or I hear their conversations, they know a lot. There's they know a bit about their history, and they know one. So it's really interesting to see the times that we're living in, and even just from the sense of embracing the African side of things, like the culture, the music, and that. Because you know, back in the day, you know, certain people would not want people to know where they came from. You know, and I touched on that in my show yesterday, which you all have seen already, I hope. But yeah, so I think we're living in a space where we are getting a bit enlightened, and also the positive is we're seeing who we were, and you have to know who you are. And I think we're also seeing greatness, like when we see Kaz doing the show, Janelle, Miss T, everyone's doing their thing. We're seeing it now. We've got social media, we can see it in the now. So it encourages you as well to know that you can be successful and you can be great as well. So one of my last questions I would want to ask, and I think we may have touched on it, but basically, if you could tell your 15-year-old self about life purpose, or the purpose of life, what would you tell yourself?
I would tell myself to stay true to myself and continue to listen to my gut instinct.
That's a good one.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say that. Which is now we're all aligned, right?
Yeah, true,
Yeah.
So
yes.
definitely,
That's
I
it.
would tell my 15-year-old self, live from within, not from outside. And it's taken me a long time to get to that point of actually just living from within myself, and not thinking that I've got to conform to be in a certain way, looking a certain way, talking a certain way, acting a certain way, just being unapologetically and authentically me.
Yes, love it.
Yeah, same.
Just ditto, yeah.
Look, I mean, look in the ditto. Look in the mirror and look at yourself, because a lot of the work that I'm doing now in terms of the shadow work is just doing just that.
Yeah, I do
And if
love
I could
that.
go back to the 15-year-old self, would be look in the mirror and I'd say to myself, you know, who are you? Ask yourself and just listen for the answer.
Yeah.
Because as you've said, as we've all acknowledged, it's already within. And it sounds so cliche, I know, and it's like, you know, but that's it. Because you've got the answer.
Yeah. What would I tell my 15-year-old self? I don't really think I should really say one.
Now you got to say it.
Yes.
I would just say, you know what? If you end up in jail, you end up in jail.
That's not what I thought you were going to say.
Rewind.
And
Delete
that
that
what's
part,
happening
sorry.
wouldn't be so what? If you ended up in jail,
I would have ended up in jail, but then it would have been like just being my true authentic self based upon what I was going through at the time, growing up as a child, what I was dealing with as a child, you know, going through trauma, being beaten for no reason, things like that. The thoughts that I was having within myself was something's wrong with me. And then I would have these other thoughts of, I just want to just kill somebody. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why I said, if it means that you end up in like young offenders or wherever it is, it would have been a purpose, but I would have just been true to myself because I would have been protecting myself. You understand what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be the kind of person that people take the piss with. You understand what I'm saying? So I think for me it would be just to not be a coward, just do it. You know,
be
just
yourself.
be yourself.
Yeah,
No matter how that looks,
Yeah.
wherever you end up, just be yourself.
No, that's true. I think everyone has said good points. I'm trying to think, what would I tell my 15-year-old self? I probably would say something similar to Miss T in terms of like, just be happy. Just learn to love yourself. That would be one. And just be happy. You know, happiness, because happiness is key. And I'll tell myself as well, happiness comes from within. It doesn't come from anything outside of you. Nothing material, money, you know, relationship, man, you know, it's not. It is basically, happiness is within you. So I would tell myself that. So One of our shows, Kaz's show, Angela, Now Chat Show, we had a week where we talked about new businesses, and we had a lady come on called Sherelle. She has a business called Mission Excel, and she does affirmation cards. So I really loved that concept, and I said, you know, I'm gonna definitely buy some and support her. And then I decided, you know what, I'm gonna add it to the show. So at the end of the show, I'm gonna have everyone pick a affirmation card, read it out, and say.
She's gonna bring my glasses.
No, listen, I can't see worse than you, so and I can see it, so I think you'll be all right. So let me just get them. So everybody pick a card and then just read it out, and then you can say, yes, you know, I was thinking that this morning, or yes, I'm going to take that on board from going forward. So pick a card.
Also, no. You know, the person should just take it from the middle.
Yeah.
But we wanted the end one. Okay, here we go.
I'm just as bad as she is.
No, you lot are too boring, man.
Shuffling up again.
Oh my gosh. Cheryl, can I just say something? You see, you may need to just like adjust the fonts.
Some of them are big,
Because
some
people
are
like me
small.
that have glasses and I could just about see it.
They'll start this new.
But they are nice. I must get some of these.
I just want to let you all know that I've got mine in production.
Okay, good. All right, so let's start with Kaz.
If nobody has told you today, I will. You are loved. You are valued. Be encouraged, and go be great today.
That is a good one. Yeah, I love it. I will read mine. Oh Lord.
You sure?
Repeat after me. I am deserving. If you're feeling brave, say it in the mirror. Oh well, I ain't got no mirror. But
Pass the mirror. 'Cause we're doing what
Yeah.
we're told.
Yeah.
Pass the mirror.
And I said about the mirror, didn't I?
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
okay.
mirror work,
See it there?
shadow work.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Where am I? My eyes that bad that we can't see myself. It's because what type of mirror is this?
It's one. No, one is
That's not my
one.
mirror.
Go to the right
Okay,
one. One
yes,
is a magnifying
I am
one.
deserving.
There we go.
Yes.
Okay,
did
Miss
it.
T.
Nice. The grace of God is sufficient, more than enough. There is no lack.
Ooh,
Ashe.
Ashe. Well, this is something that is not just for today, although the card says today. It's just been my state for a little while now.
Oh, okay.
And even when I deviate from it, I pull myself back.
Okay.
I talk to myself, Kaz will tell you, a lot.
Yes, I do too. We all do, yeah.
So I choose joy today, and I will not let anything or anyone steal it.
Oh,
love
wow.
that.
That's a good one. Wow, love it, love it,
Yes,
love it.
Yes.
I'm going to take a picture of this.
Iola.
Yeah. Mine's very apt because I feel like I am letting go of fear, letting go of what other people think, and leaning into my flow, not just in movement, but just in how I am
Yeah.
and what I want to do and how I want to be. So, holding. Oh, Lord, hang on.
No, why all us can't see?
Sherelle, just a little bit bigger font,
That's what I'm
please,
saying,
darling.
just
Just
a
a little bit bigger. For us wiser
great
people. Holding on to what is no longer for you only causes more pain. Trust God and open your palms, babe. Let it go.
Woo!
That's a nice one.
Let it
I'm
go,
gonna
let
get
it
these
go,
cards, you
let
know.
it
Yo, how much was the
Oh, you want it back?
That's
Oh.
Yeah, I was going to keep
How much
it.
was the card?
No, keep it. Not keep it.
No, take a photo.
You know, it's just
Take a
like,
picture.
Oh, do you want to take a picture? Okay, no problem.
How much was the cards?
25 for the pack.
Yeah, you know what, I might have to
worth
invest
it.
in
Lovely
this,
cards, lovely
and it's
cards.
nice quality as well.
What's
but
the company called? Let's give
Mission.
the
It's Mission Excel, and you can get a
Mission
pack of
Excel.
affirmation cards on Etsy.com. So our other newest entrepreneur is sitting to my right. Is that right? Yeah. And she has been making some lovely sauce, and has. Thank you so much. and they started to distribute this sauce to everyone. I haven't tasted it yet, but she brought some.
Neither have I. We need to go somewhere afterwards, girls, and get some bread or something.
No,
and...
no, you lot ain't having none because I see how Kaz says you can't share it.
I don't share. I'm keeping it real.
Although her mantra is sharing is caring, but she doesn't buy it.
My mantra is sharing, but sometimes you have to think about self. I'm just saying,
right.
Self-love, yeah?
self-love. That's the one. Self-love.
Okay, so the company's called Kundalini Collective, and just tell us briefly about what inspired you to start making sauce.
Okay, so it's oh man. So there's a few things there. So if you look at the card,
Yeah.
I'm not just a sauce maker. So I didn't actually put sauce on the card.
Okay, all right.
So firstly, I am, like I said, I'm a baby massage therapist.
Yes.
So I do nurturing touch. I am also modelling at the moment. I'm a creative, so the sauce comes under the creative part.
And we love the name Mighty Sauce.
Yeah, so mighty comes out because I talk to myself, I'm mighty. So my, as in M-Y and then T.
Oh, okay.
It's
Mighty.
mighty.
Oh,
Everything
I thought
I do,
you. Oh,
I'm like, I'm mighty. Yes, I am.
Okay.
So the sauce was born out of my children going away for a weekend to my cousins, who literally just drinks tomato ketchup out of the bottle. And they came home and they were like, "We get some ketchup," and I didn't think anything of it, and I bought a bottle. And within like a day or so, the thing done. And I'm like, no. I was like, this is too much sugar, this is too much additives. I didn't raise you this way. So I done that whole thing where Mummy can make you something so much better, so much healthier. So I did. And that's the sauce. So it's all natural. There are no nasties, there's no preservatives in there. And I literally do, I pour my love into that because I learned that and this is why some of you mustn't eat out of road, let me tell you, because you don't know the person who is mixing your food, you don't know what they're going through. And I'm not being horrible, they could be, their vibration, they could be depressed, they could be going through stuff, and when they're doing the food, it's going into your food.
Yeah.
Okay? So when I make sauce, I make sure before I think about making sauce, I sing, I dance, I do the most childish things in my home so that I'm in a great vibrational place to make that sauce.
I agree with you on that one because I bake cakes. Do check out my Instagram page. Kaz bakes cakes. No, but on the real, if I'm not in the right frame of mind, I'm not going to bake the cake. Because every time I do it, I kid you not, the cake will sink. Something would happen to the cake because I'm just not in that right vibration.
Yeah, I agree.
So whenever I do make a cake, I make sure, and that's why I always tell people, give me 2 weeks notice. Because then I can then kind of like play with, okay, what am I going to do? When I'm in the right kind of zone, etc. And then when I'm in that right zone, that's when I get reviews that you give me to say the cake was sweet and it was nice. Because it's going back to what you're saying. If you're not in that right vibration, that's what you're actually taking in. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, it's important.
I do agree with both of you. I do just want to say, in this modern day and age, sometimes we can't, but cook or you don't have the time. Certainly, the energy emanates from the hands that make it, and that's a fact. You know, whatever meal it is. But if you do have to eat out the road like sometimes I have to, and I'm sure many others do, then all you do is you just set your own intention over that meal, over
Bless
that
your
drink,
food.
you bless your food. You know, we're always taught to say grace, and it's so much more than just giving thanks. Of course, giving thanks is important, but it's actually setting the intention of what you're about to put into your temple, into your body, so that it edifies you. So I just add that.
Oh, that is good. I never thought about that. I just eat.
But you
just
see,
hungry.
this is the
But
thing.
Even when
it's
I
good.
cook it,
I still
Yeah.
get food.
Do you?
I always say grace.
Absolutely.
Always. Standard.
Yeah,
That's
God,
standard
I need
procedure.
to start
You
doing
must
that.
give
When I
thanks.
was younger, I always had to say the grace at the table. But now, I just eat. But now I will.
Even going a little bit further, you know heaven, right?
Yes,
Heaven,
yes,
right?
heaven.
You know
I
heaven.
love heaven.
So
Oh, vibration.
we love heaven. Heaven, if you're watching, we love
We
you.
love you.
Love you.
But Heaven spoke about this quite a bit. But she also said, even when you go into the corner shop and you go to buy the water and the bottles are on the floor,
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
the vibration And you probably don't even think
No,
about
no, no,
it.
I do.
Okay.
I speak to my water.
Right.
Get yourself a water
Yes,
bottle.
absolutely.
Okay.
And not only
Speak
speak
into
to it,
it,
write
yeah.
on your bottle, write the intentions, write love. Because water, we are 70%, more than 70% water. So you can program water.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah?
gonna take
Yes,
a
you
note.
can.
You can
Yeah.
program water. So if you speak life into your water and then drink it, you will emanate that.
Yes.
I'm gonna do that.
That's
Yeah,
like
and
all
if you
about
speak
having
your
a shower,
language
innit?
and do it and speak it into
Yeah.
water, it's
Yeah.
even more powerful.
I need to learn to speak that language.
Everybody, all of us
But
do.
we all got a language.
Yeah.
Because
All of
remember
us do.
when I was sharing about
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that another show?
I think that's gonna be
Okay.
another.
Okay, well, everyone, I hope that you loved the show today. You know, my aim for these shows is really to enlighten people, encourage, entertain, educate, and really just empower people as well. So please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, hit the notification button.
What is the channel? Just to let the
Yes, let
People
people
know.
know.
Tremaine the Life Guide. So please subscribe to my channel, and I just don't want you to miss any more great conversations like these. So thank you, ladies, for coming. I really enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you.
And definitely we'll be back again soon.
That's why I can't find you. That's what I said to say it, because I've been looking for
Yeah.
Tremaine the Life.